Scrappy Peeps, Suzanna here today for International Scrapbook Day, and I'm sharing with you the One Challenge Wonder. So based on this sketch by Sara Scraps, you are to create a layout that includes sequins, and for a bonus entry, use a digital cut file. This challenge is sponsored by Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, Spread the Sparkle, which is SpiegelMom Scraps, and Cut to You. And so if you post that layout in each of those three groups, and you have to belong to each of those three groups in the One Challenge Wonder album, you are then a candidate. This one creation gives you the opportunity to win lots of prizes. So the idea was that International Scrapbook Day is kind of a crazy day. And so we wanted you to be able to just create one thing and enjoy your day and not stress about completing a million projects in order to be eligible for the prizes. So using that sketch, and I will post that over on Instagram as well as my Facebook page. It is also there. It's on all of those sites. So Rediscover Your Stash, Spread the Sparkle, and Cut to You. And that is what you have to do to be a part of this. So I am definitely using my stash. So that was one of the things, is we want you to use your stash. If you want to use new things, you are welcome to. But I am using old stuff. And the digital cut file that I'm using here, that is from Cut to You. It is a hibiscus flower. And I have cut it multiple times, once in pink for the flower, and then I'm fussy cutting all the green, the greenery out from it. Then I cut it in green so that I have green leaves, and then I cut it again as an outline so that I can just put the pink outline of the flower onto the solid of the flower. So it's a multi-layer. I've created multi-layers in the cut file in order to create some dimension in that. So there's my bonus using the cut file. And I have two pictures of Jasmine, one of our two cats. And both of the cats have a preferred, you know, when you're a baby, you have a lovey, that blanket or that toy that you like. So Luna has, it's a flat rat. So it's a rat that is made from, I think it's rabbit fur, but I'm not sure, but something furry. That is her preferred toy. And this flamingo is Jasmine's preferred toy. And it has a little pocket for it in it, that Velcro pocket that you can put catnip in, but she's not really into that. And so I kind of went with the tropical flamingo theme for this layout. And so I have those really, really old, they're not acrylic, what are they called? Overlays from American Crafts, and I have pulled out the pink and the yellow to coordinate with the colors that I'm using. So I also cut, I don't know what cut file the tropical leaves are, but I cut a few of those out as well just to add a little bit more color. I wanted some more green, additional green into the layout. And again, I'm following Sara's sketch. So she has that photo at the top left, and then an embellishment cluster to the right of that, and then another embellishment cluster that is on the bottom right hand side of the layout. So you can see that I have two photos, and then the embellishment cluster that's on that bottom right hand side, and I'm going to switch things up a little bit just to work with my photos. And so I'm going to put the title up the top, and the journaling goes underneath the title, and to me that's what sort of unites the two parts of the layout and pulls it all together. This is these are really old pink, I want to say, is it pink paisley? And then there's a little bit of, I want to say, I honestly don't know. Some of this is just scraps that I've pulled out of my scrap bin, and I don't have the branding strips on them anymore. But again, the idea was to go tropical and go pink, yellow, and green to go with that flamingo. So that yes card is actually from a really old, In a Creative Bubble made it, so Geraldine, and I want to say that that was from Feed Your Craft, a kit that Geraldine created for Feed Your Craft, a summer kit. And I just liked the yellow frame, and then it tied into the pink frame and the yellow frame that came from the American Crafts overlays there. So I wanted to, in essence, create 3 embellishment clusters. You're going to have that yes card, which I have done a ton of shuffling around because it took me a while to figure out. I really wanted to stick with the sketch, and that yes card really, it gave you that diagonal from the top left to the bottom right, but it didn't give you the 2 distinct areas that Sara has in her sketch. And that's why it presented a challenge to me, because I really wanted that. And so now I've got my visual triangle, which I'm also trying to create by using those green tropical leaves. I'm going to call them palm leaves. I think they're palm leaves. Palm fronds, something along those lines. So I've got 3 clusters of those, and I've built them into the other clusters, and that's the uniting factor that moves your eye from the photos to the title to the journaling down to that embellishment cluster on the right hand side where the flamingo is. So I did a lot of talking about the challenge, and what I didn't tell you while I was talking about the challenge in my creating process is that flamingo had a really wide white border around it, which I found distracting, and so I fussy cut that out. I did tell you about my die cuts and how I came about those. Have I missed anything? I don't think I've missed anything else in the process. So I've got my layers up the top. Sara has those big circles, or what could be interpreted as scallops, and I just went with layers, and then I tore the last layer. And now I'm incorporating a little bit of chipboard into this. So I feel like you don't really pick up the greens that are in the die cut, and so by using this different variation of green, I feel like you're able to get a little bit more of the depth of the die cut by popping that one particular color. These are the stickers that coordinate with that, with those gold stickers coordinate with, I believe they coordinate with that black and white paper. But again, I'm not using a collection, I'm using goodies from my stash, and so I believe that comes from, it's either pink paisley or crepe paper. I can't remember, which is terrible. That is my mind's eye. I love that doily, and I liked the way that I was able to incorporate that gold doily, and then the gold strip that's up the top, and then the little gold embellishments just add a little bit of shimmer and catch your eye and your interest visually on the page there. So then the other part of the challenge in the One Challenge Wonder is that you need to use some sequins. So that is the one thing that I have yet to incorporate into this, but I definitely have a couple of packs of that. This video is a little bit longer than my normal video is because I did a lot of shuffling. Again, I really wanted to create those 2 different segments to the layout, but because of the elements that I knew I wanted to incorporate, it presented a little bit of a challenge for me, but I'm pleased with the way that it turned out. Off camera, I am going to date stamp, which I typically do off camera. There's nothing difficult about that you really need to see in the process, and I believe that is all I do off camera. So I've got the bulk of the layout now. I need to incorporate my sequins as well as the title, and then my journaling, which I always do off camera. So I have a couple of collections here from SpiegelMom Scraps. I designed for Jody for quite some time, and I could wallpaper my house in sequins. I could cover the entire floor of a room in sequins. I have some amazing sequins collections, but I don't tend to use sequins. I've learned in collections, so her color groupings, I always go with the color groupings that are in my particular project. So this one was close because I think it was called like Sock Hop, because it's got the pink and the black in it, but I wanted, and so those were the primary colors that I really did want to use, but I like variations of color, and I like mixing my sequins. So You can see I've got this pink one here, and then I am going to incorporate the black because I'm going to have a very bold happy across the center of the layout, and that's what and then the black sprinkling of things adds that darkness of the weight to create some balance in the layout, because Jasmine is, she's a tabby cat, and so there's a lot of black in her. And so there's a lot of black in that top left-hand side of the layout, and I felt like I needed a little bit more weight in color to disperse the weight of the layout around the square there, or in that diagonal that I am creating. I am using some Thermoweb Zots Bling. They're individual rolls of sticky dots, and I'm using those to apply my sequins. When I designed for SpiegelMom Scraps, if you remember that far back, I often used liquid adhesive, but I found that with the liquid adhesive that things popped off, and so it was better for me to use the Zot. This is a old Thickers. It's foam, a foam thicker, the Happy for the title there. And it's kind of a generic title, but I really wanted that black. Now I'm going through my book of stickers, and it is pink paisley, by the way, and just adding a few here and there. So that phrase up the top says my favorite because it is her favorite toy. And then the little mint green one underneath the yes says so sweet. So Happy is sort of more the subtitle, even though it's the bigger wording, and then the title. These are I want Heidi Swap. They're glitter stickers, and I'm using the pink, and it says Flamingo Love. So that's really the title of the page, but that Happy happens to be bigger. I didn't want to go with big letters for Flamingo Love because I already had that big Happy, and I liked the way that the Happy just united that top left with the bottom right and united the page and created that diagonal across the page, that movement there. I skipped through some of the laying down of the title because those of you who know me know that there is a Suzanna shuffle when it comes to titling, and I am terrible at getting spacing correct, and so literally I think I took out 2 minutes of me shuffling those letters around. I'm going to add some of these gold hearts in just to add a little bit more gold to the layout and tie everything up. So that is my completion of the One Wonder Challenge. I hope you are inspired to complete this challenge. There are lots of prizes up for grabs. Enjoy the close-ups. Thanks for stopping in today, and enjoy your International Scrapbook Day / weekend. Thanks for stopping in today. Come back again soon. Take care.